I want to talk a little bit about a relatively boring bill that you're not likely to hear about on the news, but has a good probability to make people's lives just a little bit better, and that's House Bill 147. But before we jump into that, I want to give a little bit of an explanation about why I care about this one. Now, when I first started on the West Jordan City Council, I was doing a little DIY project at home trying to finish the basement. And to do that, you have to get a building permit. Well, at the time, to get a building permit in West Jordan, you had to have your plans on paper and then take them in person to City Hall. You had to go to the building department, give them your paperwork, and if all your documentation looked to be in order, they'd tell you, okay, great, please go pay your permit fees. Well, we couldn't pay them in the building department. They couldn't accept payment. So you had to go over to the finance department, make your payment there, get a paper receipt, take it back to the building department. And then once they had all of that put together, proving that you did indeed pay your fees, they would start the review process. And then in a few days, you could get your building permit. And I'm sitting there as a new council member thinking, really? This is how we do business in West Jordan? It's not okay. So the council spent some time looking at where we could invest to streamline and simplify and really just make the process more accessible and less painful for everybody involved. Flash forward to today and the project I'm working on right now, I also have to have a building permit for that. But it was just a few minutes. I could jump online and submit everything electronically. I got my permit back really, really fast and I was able to get to work. That's the way it should be. Nice, simple, and quick. And that's what House Bill 147 does. This is sponsored by Representative Jordan Tusher, who has a little slice of West Jordan, mostly South Jordan. And what it does is it requires governments in most situations where they require documentation or forms or something to be submitted to provide an electronic option. Now, it doesn't remove any in-person option. It doesn't short circuit any processes that are in place. It just provides for an electronic method of submission, which is not earth-shattering. It seems pretty simple, but for those that don't have the luxury of taking time out of their day to meet narrow banker's hours to bring something to City Hall, it can make a bit of a difference. So this had its second reading on Friday. It's a good one to keep an eye on.